Hey guys, thanks for stopping by. We've got a ton of balance updates coming to Season 13 of Apex. Before we get into this, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications so you can keep up with all my content. First up, Fortified Legends will no longer take reduced headshot damage. So if you are a Gibby or a Caustic main, look out. Headshots will now be the exact same damage as every other legend across the board. You still get your fortified reduced damage to your body, but headshots now will be the same. So anyone who's got the wherewithal to keep that reticle up on your head is going to beam you the same way they'd beam anybody else. So keep an eye out for that. Next up is just a very simple Valk nerf. If you're playing Valk, you're not going to be happy about this. If you play literally anyone else, it's going to be awesome. So Valk will no longer be able to spin during her launch. This will reduce her ability to get out of tight situations, which does suck a little bit for someone who, if you're running a Valk comp, if you've got a Valk on your squad, or maybe you're the main, you're a Valk main. However, it does make it a little bit better for anyone that's not using a Valk. That's always been a pain to everyone. It's just really hard to shoot down. It makes the escapability of that has always been pretty high. I have no opinion about this one way or the other. Let me know what you guys think. Rampart mains, you are going to be happy about this season. We've got some Rampart buffs coming. If you play Rampart, you're going to love this. Anyone else is going to hate this. Sheila spin-up time has been decreased from 1.75 seconds to 1.25 seconds, a whole half second off that spin-up time. Your amped cover deploy health has increased from 45 to 120, and the deploy time has been decreased from 4.25 to 3.6. So not only are you going to be able to get that amped cover up faster, it's also going to have more health on the deploy, and your Sheila is going to have a half a second less time to get that spun up, excuse me. This is going to be great for any of you Rampart mains, anybody else. There's small buffs, it's not going to make a huge difference. However, I will, hopefully we see a little bit more Rampart in the meta coming forward into Season 13. Some small buffs coming for the helmets this season. Blue helmet headshot damage reduction has been increased from 40 to 50%. Purple has been moved from 50 to 65. So basically, blue helmet now does what purple does, and purple is just now better. White received no buff, so make sure you pick those helmets up. Small update, floor loot and crafting bundles will no longer have dual shell in them. So if you were a dual shell user, you're out of luck this season. Interesting update here, cells and syringe spawn rates have been lowered by about 18%. They're going to be harder to find this season, so if you find them, make sure you pick them up. You're going to want to stash them a little bit more because they're going to be harder to find this season. Guys, on to the good stuff now, crafting rotations. Flatline and Longbow are coming out and are now on the floor. Flatline and Longbow users are going to be happy about that. However, flip side, Rampage and the 301 are going into the crafter. My prediction, we're going to have a lot of people hanging out at the crafters this season. So hit them fast, get your Rampage or your 301, and look out for those other teams competing for that crafter. Guys, the Spitfire is back on the floor, and the Mastiff is going into the crate. So Mastiff will no longer be on the floor. You will have to grab it from a crate if you guys like running that Mastiff. But if you do like running that Mastiff, you're going to be rewarded because some crazy buffs coming this season. Mastiff buffs, here we go. Tightened blast pattern. Ammo capacity has been reduced from 6 to 4. Stockpile ammo is 28. Damage per pellet increased from 11 to 14. Increased pellet size. Fire rate has been increased from 1.1 to 1.2. This gun is going to be absolutely nuts this season. Make sure you go check that out in the crates and get up close and personal, guys. And Spitfire. Going back to the floor, so we're going to see it go down a little bit. Damage has been decreased from 19 to 18. Purple and gold magazine capacity reduced from 55 to 50. Crouched hipfire spread has been increased. Removed barrel attachment slot. That's interesting. Reduced headshot damage multiplier from 1.75 to 1.5. Headshot distance reduced from 64 to 57 meters. Increased reload time from 3.2 to 3.4. Draw time increased to 0.8 from 0.7. Holster time has been increased from 0.75 to 0.65. Raise time increased to 0.65 from 0.55. And lower time increased to 0.6 from 0.5. It's still going to be a great gun, guys. It's just not going to be the beast it was in the crate. You're still going to want to pick that sucker up if you're an LMG type, especially with the Rampage getting the nerf that it's getting. So check it out. And we've got new gold weapons this season. Out with the Prowler, thank God. We've got a gold EVA 8. We've got the gold bow, gold flatline, gold P2020, and a gold Spitfire to kind of soften the blow for the Spitfire coming out of the care packages. So keep an eye out for that. Guys, and this is probably the most controversial change here. The KRABER is getting nerfed. Headshot multipliers are now down from a 3.0 to 2.0. So you now, instead of getting triple damage for headshots, you get double damage. And the damage has been reduced from 145 to 140, making max damage to the head only 280, which, if you know your numbers, that's not going to kill someone who's got the proper loadout. So keep an eye out for that on the KRABER. It's still going to be a powerful weapon. It's just not going to be that one shot that it used to be. Some small changes coming to the Rampage. They have increased the reload time from 2.6 to 3.1, so a little bit longer on the reload, and it's going to take a little bit longer on the handling time. Some balance changes to the L-Star. Reduce headshot damage multiplier from 1.75 to 1.5. Headshot distance has been changed from 6.4 to 57 meters. Overheat cool-off time has increased from 2.5 to 3.6. So that's a little bit longer, a little bit change there, and slightly increased handling time. So if you're an L-Star user, sorry. For a lot of people, I don't think that's going to really matter. Next up is the Devotion. Lots of nerfs coming to this one. Damage has been reduced from 16 to 15. Headshot damage multiplier has been reduced from 1.75 to 1.5. Headshot distance reduced from 64 meters to 57 meters. Increased reload time from 2.8 to 3.2. Draw time increased to 0.8 from 0.7. Holster time increased from 0.7 or 2.75 from 0.65. Raise time has been increased to 0.65 from 0.55. Lower time increased to 0.6 from 0.5. That's a lot of changes coming to the Devotion. If you were a Devotion fanatic, you may want to rethink that this season. Lots of changes on that. That's going to make that gun a little bit harder to use. And on the flip side, in the energy world, the HAVOC is receiving a small buff. Improved recoil at the start of the pattern. So if you've used the HAVOC before, there's a little bit of a jump at the beginning of the spin up. That has been improved, at least. So we'll see what that looks like here in the next few hours, actually. And some changes coming to two of the shotgun weapons, the Mozambique and the Peacekeeper. Increased limb damage from 0.8 to 1. So now your shots that are slightly off, maybe hitting their arms or their legs, are going to do a little bit more damage. So basically the 0.8 from 0.1, that's per pellet. You should be able to see that. Pretty small buff. I think it'll help a little bit for some people that may run that kind of religiously. We'll see how that plays out. Thank you for watching the video, guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe and follow button, and let me know in the comments what your favorite part about this balance update is, or your least favorite. Hit me up.